Good morning, everybody. My name is Monika Olszówka, and I specialize in business development within financial services at Comarch. Let me just find the clicker. Yeah. Okay. Let me take you on a little journey. When I moved to London at the age of 22 as an immigrant and a poor student who could barely speak the language, I never thought that I would be able to save up any money. I was working 2 jobs at grimy old pubs, trying to provide for myself, pay for my education, and really trying to survive in the massive city entirely on my own. And it was also then when I had my first experience in my young adult life in the UK with financial services, mainstream banks in particular, when I was forced to take a personal loan in order to finance my education. In hindsight, the loan came with the highest interest rate. So my relationship with financial services, well, we definitely started off the wrong foot. Nevertheless, I graduated. I got my first proper job. I was super excited. I was able to move out of the broomstick locker in Zone 98. And with my second and my third job, my income gradually increased. After a few years, not only did I pay off the loan, but I've also been able to put aside some small amounts of money. Now, why should you care about this? Why am I telling you all of this? Because I'm a future customer. I'm a well-educated millennial who sets ambitious goals for her life. And even if I don't have a huge amount of wealth accumulated just yet, I should be important to you because I'm not alone. In fact, there are 12 million of millennials just in the UK. And if we look at the global statistics, the millennial segment comprises of 40% of the global population, and by 2020, the total net worth of millennials is expected to double. So I really think the numbers speak for themselves. You might think, well, my business is not really targeting the millennial segment with wealth management services. Let me tell you this. Your current customers are not going to live forever, and a part of them are looking at securing their wealth, the wealth that is going to be inherited by the millennials. So, all in all, transforming your products and model of engagement into a digital platform and designing great customer experience is the only way to serve all segments more efficiently and effectively. My financial future starts now. Who am I going to go with? How are you going to win me as your customer? In order to win that battle, you really need to get to know your customer. Having said that, the millennial segment is hugely different than previous generations. When we look at the habits of millennials, yes, we are very tech savvy. Well, we all, in fact, own smartphones. Online technology has already become an essential means to manage our financial lives, from banking to investment. Millennials also, we want to make educated decisions, with 84% of us seeking financial advice. We want our advisors to be digitally connected in the same way as we are. 57% of millennials say that they would change their bank for a better tech platform, and 41% of them doing the same thing for better customer experience. Honestly, I think those numbers are massive. Just imagine that tomorrow, half of your customers, your core base, is leaving to your competitors because they provide better tech platform and customer experience. So with all those findings, we are moving away from a product approach to an experience approach, with products embedded in the experience. And this actually leads me to the main theme of this talk, which is customer experience. I'm pretty sure that you all have your own definitions, so let's just bring up the one. Customer experience is the product of an interaction between an organization, such as a bank, wealth and asset management company, any financial services, and a customer over the duration of their relationship. There are 3 main parts. So we have the customer journey, the brand's touch points, and the environment that customer experiences. When we talk about touchpoints, we really mean any sort of interaction, way, shape, or form, whether it is via online channel, mobile channel, or any way of communication, so person to person as well. The customer journey covers a variety of touchpoints by which the customer goes from awareness through engagement to purchase. And finally, digital environment is the whole digital ecosystem in which touchpoints and customer journeys are interconnected. And of course, there are other elements such as the advancement of technology, security of it, and connectivity to third parties. At Comarch, we focus on 4 main elements when it comes to addressing customer experience strategy. And those are omni-channel approach, conversational interfaces, personalization, and predicting customers' needs. Omni-channel approach really goes beyond multi-channel or omni-channel, and it means the ability to communicate and support a consumer using the channel that is best for a particular objective. In simple words, it's not about being in all places at all times, it's about being in the right place at the right time. Especially when we look at the millennials and the way how we want to interact with financial services, we want to communicate effectively via the right channels. And rightly so, I always wonder, what is the need to provide every single product via every channel? Would you really onboard your customers on Alexa? Well, let me just leave it out there, but if you do want to see any other task that can be performed by Alexa, please come and visit us. Sorry, I'm just going to grab a glass of water. All right, great. In regards to conversational interfaces, we see a significant potential here in innovative interfaces that combine voice and text in form of a virtual bot and assistant. There are plenty of advantages: ease of use, short time between giving an input and getting a response, and of course it's a natural way of communication. While the first two channels, the first two elements, they concern channels, the other two, personalization and predicting customers' needs, they mainly about the intelligence and understanding your customers. Millennials are not afraid of sharing their personal data in exchange for bespoke service and great customer experience, period. That's the fact. Banks, financial services, wealth and asset management companies, you should really make use of demographic and behavioral data in order to learn about your customers. And I think that you have a great advantage here as you are the owners of various data. You should include personalized recommendations, tailored portfolio alerts, investment ideas based on your customers' preference. And as we can see, there is still so much room for improvement, with only 37% of customers saying, yes, my bank understands my needs. And finally, predicting customers' needs. So this one is the most tricky one to execute. As I've already mentioned, you should get to know your customers as much as it is possible in terms of their current needs, but also the future needs. So what sort of investment products your customers would be willing to buy, what sort of devices they would be comfortable with. And there is a great quote from Steve Jobs. I think it's applicable to wealth management as well. So having identified those 4 elements, we've come up with Comarch Virtual Assistant, the solution that integrates channels, content, and conversational intelligence to support user experience. And what you can see here is the simplified architecture of the solution. So on the bottom, you can find the engines responsible for wealth management processes and data intelligence. So it's a mixture of conventional processes, KYC recommendations, client profiling. On top, you can find the channels. We also added, in terms of the engines, we also added on top of that the intelligence responsible for automation and personalization. In regards to channels, the first one is the most standard one, mobile and web channel. And there are the new ones, already mentioned Alexa, virtual reality goggles, connected car, messenger, and voice applications. While the channels, they're mainly applicable to your clients, but the intelligence responsible for predicting customers' needs and analyzing their behavior can be also used by your employees. So why would you not use the same technology and knowledge that you have about your clients when it comes to your employees? How many of you do think of the significance of employee experience and how it affects your organization? Well, as we can see, the statistics show that the focus is still almost entirely on the customer experience. Well, I just need to say a few words here in regards to the comparison of those two. So customer experience, yes, it does provide a good model for understanding and identifying employee experience. You can't really compare them explicitly. The main reason for this is because the relationship that customers have with banks, financial services is different than the relationship that employees have with their organizations where they work at. Employees engage with organizations as such, with a company culture, rather than with products and services, at least not in the same context as customers do. Nevertheless, there are many mutual patterns, traits in customer experience that can be used when addressing and delivering employee experience. So we all know that products which are designed to end clients, they're fast, they're user-friendly, they're designed in a very smart way so that they make your clients' lives easier, they solve their problems, or at least they should be designed in that way. And the same should really go for technology that is dedicated to your workforce. They should be equipped with powerful tech, user-friendly interfaces that are ideally integrated between each other, just keeping in mind that it's them, the advisors, analysts, bankers, who spend a lot of time in the banking systems. There is this great sentence, treat your employee as your first customer. I really like it. Go for technology that puts your employee in the center of attention and help them to embark on employee journey like customer journey. Choose technology that looks and operates like consumer technology. Of course, the whole concept of consumerization of corporate IT is wide, but it all comes down to using personal devices at the workplace. By the way, do you know how many employees routinely use non-corporate IT applications downloaded from the internet at the workplace to make them work better? I've recently come across such statistics. It's 27%. And I think it's disgraceful, not to mention the high potential for security breaches here, but honestly, there should be no need for your employees to download any sort of external applications. And finally, choosing the wrong tech can disengage your employees as well. There are other key elements that come into play when delivering employee experience, and we gathered a few things that you should look for that might help in achieving digital ecosystem and optimal ecosystem digital workplace for your employees. The first one is enhancing productivity, which is something that your employees look for as well. And this can be achieved by recommending activities and actions to be done in the context of a client to improve client situation, to increase sales. Productivity can be also driven by automation of repetitive tasks that can be done by technology. And finally, using virtual assistants. This can be a great enhancer to your employees to help them in their daily duties, but also to delegate simple queries from the client. In regards to the second pillar, well, those are the absolute basics that you should really take care of in the first place. So all of the applications that are being used by your employees, they should be integrated into one consistent software that provides your employees with most up-to-date and aggregated data linking multiple sources and systems. So the combination of those may improve employee experience, but it can also lead to better customer experience. Organizations that invest in employee experience, they reach better results in customer satisfaction levels, but also hit greater revenues. So just to sum up, I prepared a few recommendations and tips that you can take away from this talk to improve customer experience and employee experience in wealth management services, of course, according to our philosophy. The first one is, instead of multi-channel, go omni-channel to eliminate silos. Just simplify it for your customers. Instead of providing every single product via every single channel, customer experience will really benefit from clear guidance to fewer channels. Use innovative consumer experience strategies. Don't be afraid of using new technology only because your business is conventional. Your future customer, like myself, we expect new technology to be used. It's not even a preference for us, it's a must. Use the power of artificial intelligence. Well, I don't think that I need to convince anybody here that artificial intelligence can be really useful when it comes to improving customer experience, when it comes to recommendations, optimization, any of the processes, so really go for it. Create an experience strategy for your type of business. So if the relationship between an advisor and a client is the most important thing because you provide services to high net worth individuals, you do private banking, then definitely support your advisors with powerful tools. If more sort of hybrid approach is more applicable, then definitely consider it. And just look for any opportunities where you can apply conversational interfaces, because that is going to be the future of the industry as well. And finally, empower your employees. Just treat your employees as your first customers. Equip them with powerful tech so that they can take care of your customers and in turn deliver and help in increasing customer experience as well. Okay, thank you very much.